Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to touch on nervines, and I'm going to share with you a really simple recipe that you can use at home to help support your nervous system. Hi, my name's Corinne, and here at Spirea, I share videos that weave together plant wisdom, holistic health, self-sufficiency with just a dash of magic. If this sounds interesting to you, I'd love for you to stick around. Stress seems to be the new buzzword, doesn't it? And I mean, for good reason. There's a lot of heavy things going on in the external world, but that doesn't negate the fact that you still have your day-to-day stressors and the things that kind of mount on your plate when it comes to work, your kids, your home, spouses, all those types of things. I've been feeling it lately, and I mean, it's interesting because it's for a good reason. For those who don't know, I'm going to be launching a brand new membership, a monthly membership platform where people can come and learn about herbs with me, learn about plant-based medicines, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of things, but in a lot more in-depth material and learning than I can do here on YouTube. And I'm really excited about this project, but my goodness, it's got a lot on my plate. And that's what's really interesting about stress, is that our body doesn't really understand the difference between a positive stress, like launching a brand new monthly membership platform where you're going to get to dive into herbal medicine with people who really want to connect with the earth, learn more about this modality and help heal their bodies. Or if your boss is breathing down your neck, or your spouse just lost their job, or your kid's getting bullied at school, your body doesn't really understand the difference. And we go into something called fight or flight mode. And this, over the long term, is not supportive to our nervous system. What starts to happen is the body will start to prioritize certain functions and metabolic functions in the body. So for example, when you're under chronic stress, a lot of people notice their digestion starts to get a bit wonky. Has that ever happened to you? Well, that's because when we're under stress, our body doesn't prioritize digestion. It starts to shunt and send blood and resources and energy to the areas of highest priority, and that would be our heart, our cardiovascular system, our lungs, and our muscular skeletal system, because, hey, if a saber-toothed tiger is chasing us, we should run away. And our body doesn't understand the difference between an imminent threat and chronic long-term stress due to a horrible commute you have at work, or your child's upcoming wedding, which is a beautiful occasion, but also incredibly stressful, right? Or maybe you have a new baby coming and the dynamic of your family is going to completely change. And so there are these times when we would want to call upon our herbal friends and allies to help support the nervous system. And we call this broad category of herbs nervines. Some people will pronounce it nervines. I've heard it both ways. Nervines in general are herbs that are supportive to the entire central nervous system. And I want you to think of it as kind of like an umbrella term, because herbs like sedatives, relaxants, antidepressants, anxiolytics, herbs that help with anxiety, they all fall under the category of nervines. But sometimes, you know, our system needs a little bit of a boost. Now, this is not a replacement for healthy, balanced, and mindful lifestyle. If you're under chronic amounts of stress, it's really important that you look at the cause. You integrate some really great stress relieving activities in your life, making sure you're getting lots of rest, adequate nutrition, proper vitamins if you need them, that you have a good exercise routine. Maybe you're meditating, journaling, spending time reading, whatever it is that helps to reduce stress. That's important too. We don't want herbs to do all the work for us, right? They're meant to be integrated into a lifestyle that is more conducive to less stress. But when you have those times where you can't avoid it, like me, I've got this big launch coming up February 1st. Make sure you've got your notifications on, that you've joined my email list. If this is something you're interested in, if you want to learn with me, this is an excellent opportunity. But I've got this really big thing coming up. And so I've been noticing that I could use a little bit of extra help in the nervous system department. So I'm going to take you to my kitchen and I'm going to show you a really easy recipe that you can do at home. It's one plant and you need that and some water. And I'll teach you something that's going to be supportive, is generally safe. Again, if you're on medications of any kind, please contact your natural health practitioner or physician or whoever your practitioner is of choice to make sure it doesn't interact with anything. But in general, this plant's really, really safe, and this is really easy and something that I think even if you're kind of just getting your feet wet when it comes to herbs, that you're going to feel safe to dive into. So let's head over to my kitchen. All right, so we're in my kitchen and we're gonna be making some oat straw nourishing herbal infusion. So again, just as a reminder, if you're pregnant, nursing, on medications, chronically ill, make sure that you talk to your health practitioner of choice before incorporating herbs into your life on a regular basis. Now that being said, the occasional cup of oat straw tea is very, very safe and mild, but everybody do your own independent research and work on this. So we're going to be doing a nourishing herbal infusion, which is not quite the same thing as a regular infusion. A regular infusion is a cup of tea where we take some boiling water, we pour it over our plant material, and depending on the plant, it's usually steeping for about 10 minutes. You remove the herbs and drink the tea. With a nourishing herbal infusion, we are steeping for a much longer period of time, plus the ratio of herb to water is much higher. And the end goal of this is also to pull out a lot of nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. One of the reasons why I like oat straw is it's a very safe and supportive nervine. And I also find that it tends to be supportive of the adrenals as well. And if anyone has ever been under chronic stress, you know that chronic stress and adrenal fatigue tend to go hand in hand. One of the reasons for this is because our body, when we're under chronic stress, is constantly secreting those stress hormones, and that really puts a lot of strain on most of the endocrine organs, but especially the adrenals. So like I said, you're going to be needing some dried oat straw. Now for my friends in the United States, you guys can snag this at Mountain Rose Herbs, I believe. For my Canadian friends, I really like Harmonic Arts. I get most of my dried herbs from them, so I'll put a link to that below. Full disclosure, I am an affiliate for them. However, I love and use, love and use their dried herbs all the time when I can't get fresh. So they're really great. You'll need a jar, any size, it doesn't matter. So you're just going to we'll be doing ratios today. So I like to make them in 1 liter size, but you can do, a pint size or half liter if you'd like. And then I like to have a knife on hand. So I'm going to get my water starting to boil here. And when we make nourishing herbal infusions, we want to fill the jar about 1/3 to half. I'll probably just fill it 1/3 today. And again, there's no detailed measurements with this one. We're just kind of eyeballing it. All right. There we are. That's a little less than 1/3, but that feels good to me today. So that's what you're going to do. Now the knife is simply to absorb the heat when you're pouring in your boiling water so your jar doesn't crack. So I'm going to wait for my water to come to a boil and explain the rest of the process to you guys after that. All right, so my water has come to a boil. I'll let it cool just a little bit and pour it into the jar. For those who are into botanical stuff, oat straw's Latin name is Avena sativa. And for folks who have some gluten intolerance, most people do not respond negatively to oat straw, but if you are highly sensitive to gluten, maybe make a small amount and test it first. Don't chug a whole liter, just in case. But again, I haven't had anyone react, but it's always better to err on the side of caution. So now you're going to pour your boiling water. So again, that knife is just there to absorb some of the heat so your jar doesn't crack. Especially in the winter months, if your house tends to be cold, Your jars are gonna be cold, and that hot water, it makes a giant mess. I speak from personal experience. So we're gonna give it a bit of a stir, and then you want it to steep for at least 5 to 6 hours. I usually make my nourishing herbal infusions at night, and that way they can steep for like the entire evening or all overnight, and then all you're gonna do is strain out the herb material, and you can enjoy these at room temperature, or you can pop them in the fridge if you prefer them cold. So there you have it. We just made oat straw nourishing herbal infusion. How easy was that? Now, if you've got any questions or comments on this, some general questions about Nervines, make sure you leave those below. And don't forget to keep your notifications on or join my email list, because February 1st is when my new monthly membership platform is going to be launching, and you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. February is going to be kind of a soft launch as a way to say thank you to all of my longtime subscribers and supporters. So there's going to be a discounted rate and a coupon code available for you guys only for the month of February. So again, make sure you have those notifications on, or you join my email list so you don't miss out on this opportunity. And I just want to say thank you. And this is Corinne from Spirea Herbs, wishing you health and wellness.